Just the other day, I had the opportunity to come across this video from YouTuber Sunshine Shoulders. He is an African American living in the Philippines from Louisville, Kentucky. And he makes a lot of great content for those of you who want to move to the Philippines. He's a really awesome content creator. And in this video is the one that got my attention. And that video is called On the Subject of Dating Married Women in the Philippines. I thought it was quite interesting because a lot of people repatriate, or actually not repatriate, but live in an expat lifestyle in like Thailand, the DR, Colombia, Brazil, and the Philippines. And I know it is quite the popular place for the passport bros. I want to play a small clip of that video and then come back.
On the subject of dating married women in the Philippines, that's what I want to talk to you about today. I'm going to give you the complete 360 of that. I'm not a lawyer or any type of legal advisor. So I really don't know the legalities surrounding it. But on my live stream yesterday, a gentleman by the name of Sean Statzer, and I want to congratulate you, Sean, and your beautiful fiance, Rosalia. He made a comment. He says, woohoo, after 5 years of waiting and $5,000, she finally received her annulment papers. So the annulment is complete. And then the subject of dating married women came up. And of course, everybody knows how I feel about dating married women over here. It's just my humble opinion. It's just my perspective. It's no right or wrong about it. But I had a guest yesterday, a very intelligent guest, and he said one word that put me on the road to making this video. After I got finished with my spiel, he said, well, Calvin, the good thing about dating a married woman over there is you never have to worry about getting married. And I was like, started the wheels in my mind spinning. And I was like, wow, I guess there is some advantages and disadvantages of dating married women over here. That being one, because I want to talk about the pros first. And all you haters out there, Mike and all the rest of you guys, I'm not telling people to come over here and date married women. Everybody knows my stance on that, and I'm going to tell you again today. But I want to talk about some of the good things, some of the advantages, because, there is no divorce over here in the Philippines. And, your woman has to get an annulment, and most women here, the masses, they can't afford it. So they just stay married until they meet you, a dummy that comes along and spends all that money and waste all that time. But he said, Calvin, the good thing is you never have to get married again, or you don't have to get married. He said, because I've been divorced for 40 years, and he's proud of that. So I thought about that. I said, yeah, that's a good thing. Another good thing is you don't have to worry about that visa process. Going through that long visa process, it can be expensive. You taking a lot of chances with that situation. But you never have to worry about that if she's married and you get a lifelong girlfriend. Because just like the guy said, you don't ever have to get married, so you could have a living partner for the rest of your life with really no strings attached. You really can have friends with benefits. But those are some real big advantages. And I don't know the legalities of it. Some guy commented, oh, you can go to jail for adultery over there. Maybe she can. But I don't believe you can because, hell, you're coming from 8,000 miles away. You don't know if she's married or not. That could be your defense. I didn't know. She didn't tell me. She told me she was single. But he said, yeah, you never have to worry about getting married. Because a lot of guys who come over here, they don't want to get married. And if you're dealing with a single woman over here, they date to marry. So that's one really good thing. And you could just have a girlfriend forever. But everybody knows how I feel about the subject. I say don't deal with them because you never know both sides of the story. You will never know both sides of that story. The only side you're going to know is her side, where he did her wrong and he ran off and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. You're never going to hear his side of the story. You don't know if he's somewhere still hurting. He could be stalking. And, of course, he's going to take it out on you. He's not going to take it out on that lady.
So, guys, this is pretty interesting. So, what I've noticed about the Passport Bro community is that our expats, every country operates differently. And what I'm seeing from the Philippines is that when people are there, this is very similar, I see, women are there dating to marry, right? I kind of probably understood that. But when they get divorced from their husbands, what happens is typically what's going on there is they're sticking with the guy. Not sticking with the guy in marriage, but they don't have the money to get the annulment. So then they will leave the relationship. And sometimes because they can't afford to get the actual divorce, they're technically still married. Now, just think about you as a American, right? If you're an American and you're coming over to the Philippines and a lady is married, well, one of the things you never have to consider, according to Mr. Sunshine's Shoulders, is that, look, I don't have to get her a visa. So she can never come and say, I want to move to the United States, right? I plan on just living here. If I got to go back home, I'll leave her alone. Things like that. That's the situation that's going on there, right? That's probably what you're trying to get accomplished. And I can have a full-time living girlfriend. And then let's just say, for example, if there's an issue and, there's some immorality, hey, I can't go to jail because I'm a foreigner. Nothing can happen to me. And I thought that was a pretty interesting perspective. And it's not that I'm pushing that or he's pushing that, because he clearly said he doesn't believe in dealing with married women. Clearly, right? He said that. That's his position. But those are the positions that somebody else gave him, insofar as to this is one of the benefits of dating married women in the Philippines. Here's something, though, that he did talk about. And I have noticed that we have had some brothers out there that were dealing with some ladies and didn't know that the lady was married, things like that. Or, you're dealing with a husband, and for whatever reason, this is one thing I've noticed about guys. When you get with a lady, maybe he's not tripping off her like that, but then she gets a new guy, American guy, all of a sudden, especially if she got a kid, and now, he want to get back in the kid's life and all that, and all kind of crazy stuff. You know how crazy relationships are, man. They're just like that. So you do run the risk of running into some problems. And I would assume that there are so many, single women in these countries that you don't have to do that. But I have heard of Passport Bros dealing with married or separated women. This is not uncommon, as the brother is saying. This does happen in other communities, right? I have heard of this, but I would always tell guys, watch with your discretion. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't really know what's going on there. But I do want to thank him out for this topic. Let me know what you think. Make sure you go check him out at Sunshine Shoulders here on YouTube. And as you know, the buffoonery remains all-time high. I'm out.